In the Gulf of Mexico, there was a small uninhabited island that existed on maps for centuries. And then one day, it simply vanished, as if it had never existed. This is the story of Isla Bermeja, a phantom island in the Gulf of Mexico northwest of the Yucatán Peninsula, whose mysterious disappearance has baffled explorers, scientists, and conspiracy theorists alike. But was it ever really there in the first place? One century it was there, and the next it was gone. Friends, welcome to the Mysteries of Latin America podcast. I'm Andrew Colon, your host, where we explore the stories of the myths, legends, histories, and mysteries from the northern border of Mexico to the southern tip of Argentina and all through the Caribbean islands. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow, subscribe, and share our podcast with your more adventurous friends and family. Your support helps us uncover more fascinating tales like that of Isla Bermeja. In this episode, we're diving into a mystery where historical events, political intrigue, and a competition for natural resources come together to hide a secret beneath the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. This tiny island, which may or may not exist, would later become the center of a geopolitical and economic mystery that has sparked countless theories and investigations. We'll see what science, history, and those dark conspiracy theorists have to say about the mystery of the disappearance of Isla Bermeja, Mexico. Now let's get started. Isla Bermeja first appeared as a small speck on maps as part of a collection of islands created by a man named Alonso de Santa Cruz from Spain in the 1500s as part of a collection of maps of the Yucatán Peninsula in Mexico for the Spanish crown. The name Isla Bermeja has its roots in Spanish, with Bermeja meaning reddish, supposedly describing the reddish color of the island's soil or the surrounding waters. And yes, there are places in the Yucatán Peninsula that have red surrounding waters, but that's another story. In 1825 and 1846, an American mapmaker named Henry S. Tanner included the island in his maps of Mexico and the United States of the time. In total, the island would appear in between 40 and 50 prominent maps and atlases from the 16th through the 19th centuries. That small little speck of an island, slightly smaller than an American football field, would be a lot bigger than that in the eyes of the US and Mexico a little later on. So let's fast forward to the years 2008 and 2009, when the US and Mexico were negotiating drilling rights in areas of the oil-rich Gulf of Mexico. Suddenly, Bermeja's existence took on monumental importance. If the island was found, it would extend Mexico's maritime boundaries, granting Mexico control over vast oil reserves in the Gulf. If it wasn't, Mexico stood to lose billions. Bermeja Island became an important part of the area of what's known as Mexico's exclusive economic zone, the EEZ, and believed to hold an abundance of oil. An exclusive economic zone, EEZ, is an area that extends up to 200 nautical miles from a coastal state's baseline, where the state or country has sovereign rights for exploring, exploiting, conserving, and managing natural resources and conducting economic activity. And this includes all mineral and fossil fuel rights. If Isla Bermeja was still there, it would have been the northernmost Mexican island in the Gulf, and the EEZ would start there for another 200 nautical miles. If it wasn't, Mexico would stand to lose about 22.5 billion barrels worth of oil. So the Mexican government set out to find and prove the existence of Isla Bermeja. In 2009, 3 investigations took place, but despite searching all the way down to the ocean floor, no sign of the island was recovered anywhere near its reported coordinates. The National Autonomous University of Mexico, Mexico's top university, conducted marine research and concluded that the island didn't exist, and worse, found no proof that it ever had. Mexico then reluctantly signed a treaty for drilling rights with the U.S. without the island to be able to extend its economic zone. So what happened to the island? As Mexico and the U.S. got ready to sign that treaty, whispers of conspiracy emerged. Did the CIA destroy Bermeja to favor U.S. interests? It was small. Or did the Mexican government erase it to thwart drug traffickers? Conspiracy theorists suggest that Bermeja Island was purposely destroyed by either the US or Mexico for geopolitical reasons. The US is believed to have leveled it to keep Mexico from gaining vital territory, or Mexico obliterated it to keep drug traffickers away from it. José Ángel Conchelo, a chairman of the major Mexican political party known as the National Action Party, also known by its acronym PAN in Spanish, pushed the theory that the U.S. destroyed the island to limit Mexico's sovereign rights and extend theirs. Conchelo believed the corrupt Mexican government colluded with the United States to give up exploratory rights to U.S. companies. Did he exaggerate? Did he make it up? We'll never know, because months after making the accusation, he was run off the road and died, a crime that has never been solved. And here is another twist. Some experts suggest that Isla Bermeja never existed at all. Could it have been a cartographic error or a deliberate lie on those old Spanish maps meant to confuse the enemies of Spain? Julio Zamora, president of the Mexican Society of Geography, said, in the 16th and 17th century, countries published maps with intentional misinformation to safeguard accurate information, like the true location of ports, trade routes, and valuable resources, from rival powers seeking advantage and control to maintain strategic advantages in exploration, trade, and territorial disputes. But what if it was something else? Is it possible that rising sea levels or geological shifts swallowed the island whole? Another plausible theory is that the soil on the island eroded over the centuries until there was nothing there. Some believe the island could have moved to a new location due to geological shifts. However, researchers would have charted the movement and found evidence somewhere of the Phantom Island, and they didn't. Rising sea levels could have swallowed up the island, but no remnants have been found, not even on the floor of the Gulf. The mystery deepens with every unanswered question. What if Bermeja was destroyed or disappeared to manipulate the law of the sea codified by the United Nations in 1982? Like I said earlier, this law grants a country sovereign rights to resources 200 miles into the sea from its land border. Bermeja's presence would have given Mexico control over a significantly larger portion of the Gulf of Mexico. In the area between the U.S. and Mexico, there were gaps to which neither country could lay claim. Starting in 1997, negotiations were supposed to divide the orphan areas of the sea between the two, making the area Bermeja was expected to be in Mexico's territory. Mexico, though, was still hopeful, as both countries had agreed to postpone any drilling projects until 2011, giving Mexico time to prove Bermeja's existence and reverse the agreement. But that didn't happen. So what do less mainstream theories about Isla Bermeja say about its disappearance? Conspiracy theorists have long speculated that Isla Bermeja really did exist, but they say it was destroyed by the U.S. military. One of the more controversial and intriguing explanations surrounding the mysterious disappearance of this small island is the theory that Isla Bermeja was intentionally destroyed or significantly altered during military operations, possibly involving underwater detonations or missile testing. This theory suggests that during the Cold War, the Gulf of Mexico was a strategic area for military exercises by both the United States and Mexico. Underwater explosions or missile tests could have led to the island's disappearance. There's also speculation that the island could have been used for secretive military testing that involved powerful explosives, which might have caused it to submerge or break apart. These same theorists say that the lack of public records or acknowledgments about these operations kind of proves their point, because those military activities are highly classified. A more unusual yet persistent theory is that, of course, aliens, it wouldn't be the Mysteries of Latin America podcast without aliens, or paranormal forces were responsible for the island's disappearance. This idea draws on existing stories of extraterrestrial encounters and unexplained phenomena in the Gulf of Mexico. Proponents of the theory say that Isla Bermeja might have been a site of significant alien activity or a portal to another dimension. These theories often find a very receptive audience among those interested in UFO or UAP sightings and unexplained events, but they have not received real scientific validation or verification. And then there are stories of hidden treasures on Isla Bermeja, and that whoever wants us to not find these riches has hidden an island. Historical accounts of pirates and colonial secrets in the Gulf of Mexico say that Bermeja Island might have been a hiding place for pirate treasures or colonial riches, and that its disappearance was orchestrated to conceal these valuable assets. This theory ties into broader myths of lost treasures and hidden wealth, adding a layer of intrigue to the island's already mysterious vanishing. These theories, while diverse and often lacking in real evidence, highlight the fact that this tiny little spit of an island is a source of fascination for people who've fallen into the rabbit hole surrounding its disappearance. Ideas like these often reflect broader ideas of mistrust in government, the allure of the unknown, and the human propensity for making myths. The mystery of Bermeja Island continues to inspire speculation and investigation, ensuring its place in the annals of unsolved enigmas and the vault of mysteries at the Mysteries of Latin America podcast. The disappearance of Isla Bermeja is still something that leaves me scratching my head, though, with several plausible explanations ranging from map-making errors, intentional and otherwise, to conspiracy theories about intentional destruction. Despite extensive searches and investigation, no conclusive evidence has been found to explain its fate or that it ever really existed. The mystery of Isla Bermeja remains unsolved, reflecting the complexities of historical cartography, geopolitical interests, and natural phenomena. This tiny speck on the map has slipped through the cracks of history, leaving behind only questions and theories. Maybe one day, new technology, a chance discovery, or long-hidden information in a vault somewhere will unveil the truth about Isla Bermeja, shedding light on one of the Gulf of Mexico's greatest mysteries. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the mysteries of our world, where fact and fiction kind of blend together, and the search for truth takes us to the most unexpected places. The enigma of Isla Bermeja is just one of the many mysteries in the region from Mexico to Argentina and the Caribbean islands. It's part of our cultural DNA, and my mission here is for those of us with roots in Latin America to know our stories, and for those of you who don't have roots to know where we come from, at least in our heart of hearts. Thanks for listening, friends. My name is Andrew Colon, and this is the Mysteries of Latin America podcast. Adios.